So, like we said, we were going to do this bar talk. It's going to be Pritchett Power Bar Talk.
Pritchett Power, yep.
So, this is kind of something we do anyway, sitting around and, want to relax around the house or eating dinner. Like we're a strong man household. So we talk
We talk
man.
about all the new shows, the shows that are coming up. We talk about
past ones,
yeah.
Everything. So, a couple videos ago, we asked, you guys got any questions you guys want to talk about? So we're going to kind of go over a few of those today. We'll try to get as many as we can. If we don't get to yours, sorry, but we're trying to get as many as we can. I appreciate all the comments, guys. You get a lot of great comments. You guys seem like you're really liking the channel, what we're doing so far. We're going to try to keep doing it, and appreciate the support. Appreciate the support.
We're just starting off.
We're
doing pretty good.
So a lot of just
also comment to see if we want to see if we're doing good.
Yeah,
what
let
you
us
guys
know.
want? Yeah.
So a lot of great comments. They like you being involved with my training. I think I'm the only World's Strongest Man competitor where had sons training with me, so they like that. It's different than most. So, and it's been really good.
Yeah.
Really good. So one of them, so they wanted to kind of my path, how got to World's Strongest Man, ASC. So without getting too big of a, so I did my first pro show in 2010 at the LA Fit Expo. Then I did a show in Vegas in 2012 that was a Giants Live qualifier. I won that show. I went to Giants Live in Poland. It was my first international show and qualified for World's Strongest Man the first year. Actually as a reserve in 2012. Then ended up getting in a spot very last minute. Josh Stenpeg got hurt. He dropped out and I only got put in day of. So that was my first Worlds 2012, and then went to Worlds up until 15. Then I was hurt in 16 and 17, no invite 18, 19, and finally back last year in 20. And then my path was a little different than some, as far as I did Strongman Corp ASC as I was coming up. It was an amateur, did the pro-ams, and then when I won, I went to the Fit Expos, and then I did the Sin City qualifier for Giants Live. I automatically just kind of started doing Giants Live and World's Strongest Man, and then I won the Fit Expo a couple years, and that's how I got on the Arnold stage and started doing the Arnolds. So I actually didn't officially get a pro card until I think 2016 in Dallas. I finally got an ASC pro card.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then, so that's why in 17, when I won America's Strongest Man, was my first year, actually the first and only time I've competed at America's Strongest Man. Because it was the first year I was eligible to do it. So just kind of a brief.
Because with the Fit Expo used to be an automatic qualify to the Arnold Classic, and you didn't have to be a pro then. So they were kind of mad because he wasn't a pro. And he just
it was always a
pushed
kind of a
in
thing that I didn't
Fit
officially
Expo.
have a pro card back then, and but you didn't have to have a pro card to compete. If Ode Hagen felt that you were good enough to compete, he let you compete. And I won it in 13 and 14, and that put me on the stage both those years. And then either I got invited or qualified through the series after that. So if you guys want to know more about kind of how I got into strongman, all that, we can do another video into that from power, because I started powerlifting and got into strongman.
It's a long story about the sprint cars and.
So we got one that was kind of funny. This guy wants to know, how old is Bubba? He said there's no way you pull 275, being that you'd be in elementary school, and he's questioning his whole existence because you pulled 275. So he really did pull 275. We don't bullshit that. We don't play on weights.
Yeah,
it's always real. Yeah. But he's 10, almost 10 and a half here in a few months.
You can go back on his Instagram. I use weights that he used to use, so really you can go back.
Most time he's on the calibrated set with us. But he really pulled 275, and then again this last week he pulled 270. To follow it up.
And that was on the calibrated set, so.
Yeah. So, but he's 10 years old. I said it'll be 10 and a half here for a month or so, but won't be 11 until December. He's a big boy. He's good genetics, and he's been fed well.
That's why he gets 6 ounce.
Yeah,
I get 11 ounce.
He eats a lot of steak. There's a nice pull in 275. So training philosophies in general, free intensity for, heavy. I mean, that's pretty much been, obviously there's a little bit that kind of goes with that, and then you get into techniques, but I train heavy every week.
If you want a tip on how to become a pro strongman, we'll do a video on that, but really just the pro tip is go heavy every week.
Go heavy.
Yeah,
we go heavy every week. And then there's a lot, we get some resistance. Sometimes the guys have trained with us, but they eventually see that this is the way we do it, There might be better ways, but this is the way we do it, and we go heavy, we pull heavy every week.
That's our special
like this last
secret
week.
sauce. That's our secret sauce.
The secret sauce.
That's
the secret sauce is go
heavy.
Freaking heavy every week. So we can do more like techniques to kind of break down kind of how we plans, lay some stuff out, whereas we during the week we do more like bodybuilding, powerlifting type movements, and then weekends is strongman events. But it's heavy, it's strongman is heavy, and I've always believed that I don't want the competition to be the worst day of my life. So if I train hard every week, hitting events heavy or even overweight.
And you've said that to everybody that's trained with us that have done competitions that say go heavy every week, hit over comp weight, and turns out it's not the worst day of their life. So
yeah, and they get through it well, and we've got a strong crew.
And a very strong crew, one of the strongest.
My deadlift setup, I get a lot on my deadlift setup. They want to know why I'm so wide. So to kind of go back a little bit, so when I first started powerlifting when I was 15, I actually started with a sumo setup. The guy that coached me at the time, he was a sumo puller, and so that's the way I learned. And so through my powerlifting, I pulled sumo. When I went to strongman, I had to go to conventional because that's just what's allowed in strongman.
And his first strongman show, Deadlift, went.
So when I first went conventional, I did the traditional narrow setup, and I just never was comfortable. I always felt wadded up. I never felt like I could get all my power, put through. So I started slowly widening it out, and then that's kind of my deadlift. I always say it evolved over several years to what it is now. So my reason for the wide is to get. I turned the deadlift into. I don't think it was a pull. It was even a push. I try to push that thing off the ground. So I get more quad and hip in it, so it's not so much on the posterior. When you're really narrow, it's hard to get that good quad push and your hips through it to push it off the ground.
It's like a squat, for another example, that if you go wider, you get glute and you get a bunch of drive from different muscles than you are narrow than if you go wider.
And yours is, for your size, yours really wide. And so it's just kind of evolved to what it is now. And then it doesn't work for everyone, but a lot of people that I've pushed their stances out, their deadlifts have done well. So it's worked for me, worked for us, working for him. So that's a little bit on the deadlift. I get a lot of questions on the deadlift. Diet, pre-workouts, favorite supplements. So supplements. So I've been lucky for a lot of years now to be sponsored by high-tech pharmaceuticals. So to me, I'm obviously partial because the sponsor, but they make some of the best supplements out there, and they have a wide range of different brands that they make for and that that they own. So our favorite for pre-workout for me and the crew is a mesomorph, the protein, precision. Also do the mass gainer for weight gain, creatine, and I don't know, we have with the BCA, the chained out, but that's a big one, and he also does too with the BCAs.
Yes, chained out is a really good. It really is just like this. It's another BCA. It's a brand like this that they sell. It's just it's called ALR. They have great chained out BCAs. In fact, I'm not drinking chained out right now, but I normally do it for training, and it really helps. So
yeah, that's really the only supplement that Bubba does. I don't to me, he's young. He doesn't need all the others right now. He's just naturally making gains. Anyways, he eats well. He loves steak. It's good protein. But he does the BCAs. The BCAs, they are good for you. It's not going to hurt him. So that's one he does do. But that's just a few of the ones I do regularly. BCA is a big one I do 3 or 4 times a day. Then also the pre-workouts, the weight gainers, and the proteins, creatine. I also do I mix with the BCAs. So some of those, and then diet is a lot of beef and rice. We do a lot of beef and rice. We do a lot of beef and rice during the week.
If you watch our shopping, you saw how much rice we bought.
Yeah.
We basically take the whole stock of rice that they have out. Yep.
The crazy Hummer tire battle, you and JF at Shaw Classic. Yeah, that was a great battle, JF.
That was like fun watching.
It was. I just want some of the greatest like battles or comps. Sometimes are the ones that you wouldn't even really think were going to happen. You know, it was day 2. We're all tired and beat up. You wouldn't think the deadlifts would be that big. I hadn't pulled on a Hummer tire in a long time. I did it a couple times of training beforehand, just get familiar. JF had never pulled on a Hummer tire.
That was really impressive.
So it was just one of those. It was just one of those days, you know. And I think, you know, it happens to me sometimes. It happened just this week where, you know, I warm up on deadlifts sometimes and I just don't feel great. And sometimes when I go back down and I come up again, man, I can have some of my best deadlifts. Just getting that extra warm up. This last few years, getting older, it takes me a little longer to get warmed up and really feel good. And that was one of those days. We had warmed up and we were ready to go, and I didn't feel great. I was okay. And they were having a problem with the live stream, so we all kind of agreed just to kind of stop and wait so we could get the live stream going. And then so we kind of went down and warmed up a little bit again. It came back in, and man, I felt good. I just kept taking each attempt, and it was one of those days I felt like I could just move anything.
It was fun watching as a fan when Shaw put it on his YouTube. It was actually really fun watching the deadlift. It was actually really fun just as a fan watching it. So
yeah, a lot of training. Go for the world. You know, I hear a lot about the world record and going for the over 500. It's definitely one that I want to accomplish at some point before I'm done. I don't know when that's going to happen yet. It's just going to take the right timing, the right show, because, you know, in order to do it, some of my strongman events are going to have to kind of take a little bit of a back seat so I can really focus on it, because that's going to take some really, really big training sessions to get there. So I don't know when it's going to happen, but before I'm done, it's going to happen. It's one.
You've said it for the last 2 years now.
Yeah, it's one that I don't think I could walk away and be happy unless I had.
Well,
that.
you got beef with it because you tore your hamstring.
Yeah, it got me, and it's one that I want to take down. I just don't know when it's going to time out right yet. So what do we got? So there's one about you maybe potentially competing in a 105 class, in like an open class.
Open men?
Yeah. So I think if your strength levels are there in a few years, I mean, why not? You know, I don't know how long you'll be under 105. Bubba's about 180 pounds right now at 10, so he's not going to.
It's 105?
Well, it's kilos, so it's 231.
Okay. Never mind.
231. So you got a few years. So possibly you might.
A few months, you mean?
No, a few years. little Hercules.
Hercules.
Yeah. Yeah, again, the pre-workout recovery. So recovery, I have the Normatec leg compression sleeves. That's one I use, and then I have a great PT chiropractor at B2Y Therapy that I go to, Natasha, and she keeps me going. And then also my pain management doc that does regenerative therapy at Active Life Pain Management. Dr. Lundquist, she's kept me going for a lot of years, keeping everything healthy and healed up. Merch. We're working on shirts right now. I got a new sponsor, Bam Law, and right now with them, we're working on some new shirts. So we're gonna have some new shirts here pretty soon, and then we're gonna, I believe, start selling some shirts through them, probably on their Bam Law site.
And possibly shirts after that too.
Yeah. What year does everyone predict Bubba will break the deadlift world record?
Tomorrow.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, who knows? He's got a lot of years to go in this sport. If he continues to do it. But as strong as he is now, if he still stays interested in it and pursuing it and as passionate about it as he is now, I honestly could see him probably in his early 20s doing it. Which would be huge.
That's Thor pulled it when he was what, 30?
He was about 30, 29, 30. So.
And then Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie was probably about 25, 26, something like that. So
it's definitely possible to pull it in 20s.
It's definitely possible, especially as early as you started. I mean, if you keep, pushing the way you have, keep kicking ass. We are, man. We're keep kicking ass. The 500 everybody's bar, yeah. Here we go. We'll finish with this one. This will be a good one. Top 5 favorite strongmen of all time. So, what do you got?
Youngest goes first? Okay.
Yeah.
So, except you, or what does it say?
Yeah, not me. Who?
Okay. Favorite strong. Brian Clark. You guys probably don't know, but if you guys watched Santa Monica 2019, you'll see him. He competed in there. He trains with him. He's a pro strongman from USA. Probably Brian Shaw.
Shaw's good.
Yeah,
4-time
Shaw.
champ.
Z. I don't know. It's just something with Z. It's awesome because normally people that are great at log suck at deadlift, but he's great at deadlift. Like he had the Hummer Tire world record on deadlift, and then had the log lift.
Yeah, Z was really good.
Yeah,
he
he was like an
all
all-around athlete. What is that?
That's 3.
3, and then Alexei Novikov. I think Novikov, that it was pretty impressive for seeing his performance at the Arnold at the beginning of the year, and then at the end of the year winning Worlds.
He come in right away after just a few years at the top level.
That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, especially at the level and the weights where everything's at now. For someone to come in that young, I mean, it's impressive.
Yeah, and what it was 2019 was his debut, right?
Yeah.
So that was pretty impressive, and I really don't know. Honestly, I really don't know what my fifth one would be. Here you go. Maybe I'll think about it.
All right. So I'm going to take it way back. I'm going to go Don Reinhold.
Oh,
so
John Paul.
John Paul.
John Paul.
John Paul. Good one. I'm going to go Don Reinhold. He won Worlds 2 years. The second and third year they had it.
Odie. That was good.
Kaz Meyer. I'll go with Kaz. Kaz was a powerhouse when he dominated. Odie Wilson, I believe, is the strongest guy to never win Worlds. I believe he was kind of cheated out of Worlds a little bit. So definitely Odie.
It sucked how he passed though too.
Yeah, Magnus Ver was a great strongman. Very smart. Wasn't the strongest guy. Wasn't the biggest guy. But he was smart in everything. He was efficient. He got enough on his bad events. He still got enough points to do carry over. And he dominated. He dominated the 90s. I remember as a kid watching World's Strongest Man, Magnus was always up there.
Magnus was pretty impressive because he had trained with John Paul, and when John Paul was out of Worlds, they put Magnus in, and he won it. He won it the first year he was there.
As a reserve.
He was a reserve.
John Paul. That's right. Yeah,
and he won.
Yeah, I mean, really impressive. I mean, you talk about how Novikov came in. Just a few years. Magnus came his first year as a reserve. Nobody knew about him.
And dang, I had it. he would have got his 5th title, but he had the he talked about it in 30 Years of Pain. He had the Husa belt a little too high, and he went to adjust, and he dropped it. He would have had the 5th title, and plus it was a home country in Iceland. He could have had.
Yeah, that was a rough loss for him. Yeah, I think my last one, I'd probably say Magnus Sanderson. He was always fun to watch. I remember as a teenager watching him come up, and then my favorite line post event ever is his first year in '95 when they did the arm wrestling against the big Aussie, and he broke his arm. What did he say?
I might have broken his arm.
I probably have broken his arm. His best interview, best line in World's Strongest Man.
It was great.
Yeah, and as you watch his arm snap.
Yeah.
We know you probably broke his arm.
We can hear it through the camera.
You definitely broke his arm, but greatest line.
It was great in his accent too. His accent was great.
Yeah. So thanks, guys. We'll do another one of these. This will be Pritchett Power Bar Talks. So give us some more questions, and next weekend we'll do another one of these.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Just to go through you guys' comments. That was fun.
All right, guys. Thank you. Appreciate the support as always.
Oh.
If you missed it, like, share, subscribe. Ring the bell.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Oh, hold on. We might have broken the comments.